Welcome back to the next instructional video on Snap Core First or TD Snap app. Once you tap that icon to open the app, I'm just going to cover some things that you can do to kind of navigate throughout this app and kind of some of the basic features that you may use regularly with your students, especially when you are modeling things. You're going to want to know kind of how to get around. One of the basic and very cool features I feel like, and most people love this feature, is that top left, you're going to see a magnifying glass. So there's the arrow, the home, the clock, and then there is a magnifying glass. When you tap that and you want to know where the word book is, because you're going to go to the library and you want to be able to say that. You see tons of options here, which is also cool. But if you want to just go to it about book and under reading, you're going to tap that. And then it's going to start blinking at me. It's going to give me my pathway to that word. So this can be used in a couple different ways. You can model it one time through, say, oh, look, let's see where this takes us, and then tap through. Or you can encourage the student to be like, oh, look, it's blinking at us. Let's see. And have them prompt where it takes you. And then it says reading. And then here I have book.
Book.
And this one is also linked to a particular student's book page where it has a specific book. But so that's my point, is that when you tap that magnifying glass, it's going to lead you to the word, and you may be like, I don't think that word's on here. There's a lot of words stored on here that you might not be aware of. So it's a good idea before you ever add anything, which I'll have in an additional little video, is to check that magnifying glass, to check on that. So another feature, or some of the basic things I want you to look at, is the top left, there's a speak bar. That's once the words up that are up in that white area where the word book is. If I tap speak,
Book.
It's going to say it. If I want to delete book, I would tap delete, of course. But another way to do that, if I have a word there, so I type the word have, I can also go down to the bottom left to where it says clear, and clear a whole speak bar. And that's if you have like a couple sentences in there and it just needs to be cleared out. So you will also notice within this, we have quick fires along the left, a keyboard, there's word forms we won't cover in depth at this point, and then the dashboard. So I'm mainly going to cover some of those. And so when I tap on quick fires and you open that up, it's going to give you like quick words that you might need to say. So yes, no, goodbye, I don't know, I made a mistake, that type of thing. You could also go into greetings and social along the right side of the page in the purple. You can see there's greetings and social, has some cool things. One thing that we might say, how embarrassing, or something along those lines, could be something we might say.
No fair.
But those pop you back to, once you touch them, they do take you back to the home page. But personal needs is going to have some words on here you might not know that are on there. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. These are phrases we might think, oh, we need to add that. That's why it's important to do a word search before we add always. So
I'm thirsty.
I'm thirsty, and then it's going to take me back. You'll see there's also quick fire questions. So that has, can I play? What are you doing? What's wrong? Another very quick phrases that a lot of us say throughout our day, but those are already programmed in there for us. Communication repairs is a fun one. Give me a second. I love that. We all say that a lot of times when we are busy with something or we need a thinking time. It's important to show kids some of these that are on here. So it's modeling that type of stuff. And then one last one on that, my phrases. This one is where you are maybe going to program in phrases that are very peculiar or meant for that student. So if that student is in first grade, you would have that I am in first grade maybe. Or if that student really loves dragons, you might put in there, I love dragons, do you like them? Something very specific to that student could go under that. So Quickfires has neat options for you, and I hope you remember and use some of those. And then keyboard, if you tap that, it's going to take you here. This one's large because my buttons are larger. So if your screen has them all, it might have them all, but you can see down at the bottom right, I have an N to Z. And when I tap that, it takes me to the rest of the alphabet. I can tap that again, taking me back to A through M. I'm going to delete this speak bar real quick so I can show you the prediction. So when I tap the letter B,
B,
it's going to start coming up with common B words. So I might do B, E, and best is what I wanted to say. You know,
best,
tap and it's going to tap or put that in there. So it's like a prediction on our phones that we're all used to, but just something that they can use on the keyboard. Skipping down to dashboard along that left side. Here is where you just kind of see the functional, like programming type things that might be involved with this particular app. So you're going to see things like the volume up and down, the battery life. But you also have date and time on here, which is nice if you're doing calendar work. You have a visual timer that you could turn on and use and pick how much time you want it to do and use that right within their app instead of having to use something externally. We have supports where you can make first then things on their communication system, which is really cool as well. And then something kind of fun just to open and have a whiteboard here. So that's just something you might find like time to do when you need to draw something out for them to explain, or maybe it is just fun free time. So that is giving you a basic overview of some of those main things that I feel like you might use throughout your time with your students. The rest are mainly links to more language, like you have your core words on here we talked a little bit about, and then all those in the purple along the right is going to be mostly things that link us to a ton of words and more links along within them as well. So and then down at the bottom left, there's that blue one that also has the questions, and that also is linked, and that's where we would, put program questions. Food and drink, you'll see it's going to have some basic things, but then over to the right, it's going to have more purple options. Any of those are basically telling us, oh, this is linked to even more vocabulary. So just a nice little basic overview of how much and how involved in this app is. It really does have a lot of language for our students. And please feel free to play around on the student's device or one of the practice devices, and tune in for the next TD Snap video.